because your body has now become the mind, the language of your body is now feelings. Like the feelings is the language of your body. That is why it is so hard for you to do those things that you think about. An example in the Bible, Apostle Paul said something. He said, that which I want to do, I find myself not doing. And that which I don't want to do, then I keep doing. He now asks himself question, why? So this is the answer. Basically, his body has become the mind. The feelings body is now the one dictating the tune. So as you feel, so you are, not necessarily as you think. You know, some people think they feel, or some people think that, you know, you are a product of your thoughts. Yes, you are a product of your thoughts, but you are actually a product of your feelings. Let me go deeper. The earth that we experience right now is magnetic in nature. So the universe actually functions by your feelings. You can say it, but if you don't feel it, then you can't manifest it. So it can also be perceived the other way around. If you are feeling negative, if your feelings is fear, you're feeling negative emotions, then what you manifest is negativity. So I stand to say right now that poverty is a feeling. Yes, poverty is a feeling, because no matter how much you want to become rich, if you don't feel rich, then you cannot be rich. It is a feeling, like it becomes your nature. So it means that your mind has perpetually been feeding your body the information of abundance, year day in, day out, night in, night out. Like you have been feeding the body over time. The body now takes up that information and it becomes a habit. So you see the progression. Thoughts leads to habits, and your habits leads to your lifestyle, and your lifestyle becomes your personality, and your personality becomes your personal reality. So this is the link between your thoughts and your personal reality, or your desired reality. It is as simple as that. So now, meditation is actually a process by which you can now start becoming familiar with your unfamiliar thoughts, or the thoughts that have been running the show within you. So now, a depressed person is someone that is actually feeling depressed. So it means that you can't be depressed except you are feeling depressed. So depression is a feeling. So the idea behind this video is actually to help you to change your feeling. You know, but you can't change your feeling without changing your thoughts. The process of changing your feelings is also the process of changing your thoughts. So this is it. You cannot think beyond how you feel, but you can make your thoughts become your feelings by repetition. I said in my previous videos, there's one video I talked about, you know, the repetition of your thoughts leads to your vibration. So it means that repetition leads to consistency. Consistency leads to vibration. Vibration leads to your aura. Aura leads to your radiation, and radiation leads to your energy. And that now leads to your habits, and your habit leads to your lifestyle. Your lifestyle leads. So can you see the progression? So this is the progression of how to manifest your desires. So it also means that you manifested your depression by not taking charge, by not taking control, or by not being in charge of your thoughts. So it means that you have been thinking depressive thoughts without you knowing. You've been feeling the depression as a result of engaging in stressful activities, things that are not in alignment with your higher self, things that are not in alignment with the God, which is you. So once you understand this, then it means that you are the creator of your reality. Yes, I'm actually here to tell you that you are the creator of your reality. Now, religious standards, religious actually has a way of making you think that the God you are looking for is out there. Yes, no dispute to that. But that God that you're trying to look for is actually within you, is actually you. There are different levels of consciousness. Well, like I said the other time, I was thinking I was so much in tune with the external environment and I forgot about my internal environment. I did not even take cognizance of my breath. My previous episode, I talked about breath work. You need to understand breath work. God created man and breathed life into man, and that was why man became a speaking spirit. That's how man became a body that can speak. So breath is like a life giver. So once you get conscious of your breath, that is one of the ways by which you can get out of depression. So you wake up in the morning, you observe your breath. Very, very important. This is also a method of actually meditating. So all my life I've been stressed. I had no time to meditate. I was busy Monday to Sunday. One of my brothers looked at me and said, "Bayo, you're looking so stressed. Why are you looking so stressed?" I was like, you know what? I need to make money. There's this scripture that says that in the Bible, it says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind." Now, how do you renew your mind? Is by inviting positive thoughts into that same mind. And how do you do that? It all depends on the kind of things you listen to. You understand? What are the words that you see? Words program us. That is why when you're watching TV, they call it TV program. I watch what I watch. I watch it. I'm conscious. I observe what I watch. Once I know that what I'm watching does not align with my higher self, then I get it out. Yes, I've watched pornography. I've watched all those things in the past, and I realized that it's not serving me. It blocks the flow of desire. It blocks these things. Whenever you have people around you talking about lack, you have so many poor people around you, all they talk about is negative things. They talk about things that things that are not working. They are talking about how bad the economy is. Everything they talk about is about the fact that they don't have money. There's no money. It baffles me how people keep saying these things every time, and you don't know, and it's because they don't know that you are a man's belly, a man's life is filled by the words of his mouth. There's this scripture that talks about, he said, "A man's belly shall be filled by the words of his lips." So what words are you saying? But the truth is, whatever comes out of your mouth is as a result of what is in your heart, is as a result of what your body has been programmed to believe. So at a subconscious level, many of us have been programmed into negativity, into lack, into poverty. I told a friend, I said, you see, I wish you know how much you have been programmed for poverty. It is actually obvious in the way you are talking to me. I told him that it's obvious, because your personality is now poverty. It's so obvious. So you need to now start probing. So a depressed person is that kind of person. Nothing makes sense to you. So I have a good news for you. You can arise. You can arise and shine, for the light of God is within you. Your light has come. That light is within you. Now, in my previous videos, I talked about the 7 energy centers. There are 7 primary. There are more. Some people believe there are over 100 in the body. Well, but this is the one I know. There are 7 primary. There are secondary. There are tertiary. But this is there are 7 primary energy centers in the body. You know, I'm going to talk about. There's one here at your stomach. You know, there's one at the top of your belly button, which is the solar plexus. Some mystics call it the solar plexus chakra, or the energy center. That place is where some people believe that the equivalence or the microcosm of the sun is here. You know, that makes me remember, like, was it Jesus that said, he said, it is written that out of your body shall flow, out of your belly, not body, yes, it says out of your belly flows rivers of living water. So this chakra, most of the times a depressed person, this chakra has been blocked. So now you are fearful, you lack inspiration, there's no inspiration, you are just there, you are stuck. So a depressed person is a person that is experiencing stagnancy in his energy centers, and that as a result there is lack of alignment. So now a depressed person is someone that is not in tune with his inner body. So you are so much attached to the outer things that you are so illusioned. Now, one of the things I noticed about me when I was going through the stress and everything was when I was going through the depressive mood, and that was one of the things that led me to addiction to marijuana smoking. The first day if you check my previous video about my addiction story, the first day I smoked marijuana, that was when I understood that I had 7 energy centers, and believe you me, I knew that I was stuck. And that was when I started thinking about the fact that I've been living in so low self-esteem all my life, but of course the addiction came into play. I started, over and over again, because now I did not understand meditation really at that time. So the marijuana was my meditation. So whenever I want to go within, then I have to smoke. So it means that that is matter to matter. You are trying to use external things to affirm your internal environment, which is not supposed to be. You are supposed to go within yourself, but I was using something to reaffirm my internal environment. That is purely addiction. Some people, in the bid to avoid the pain, to avoid that pain, then you would go into forms of addiction, smoking, binge eating, drug abuse. I can tell you basically that even anger is a form of addiction. When you always vent, you always reacting, that's also a form of addiction. I talked about cortisol the other time. Cortisol is a chemical or an hormone that is produced in the body, I think through the pituitary gland. Yeah, I think it's pituitary gland. It is actually very addictive. Cortisol is addictive. When your body keeps producing it every time, you get addicted to that feeling. So what happens is that your body will now be looking for opportunity. The signal, there's a signal that the body will start generating. I told a friend, I said, you see, when you get a signal from your environment, or someone acts in a way that you don't somehow like, or something that you feel that this is not me, this is not what I'm supposed to be experiencing, check it. It means that there is a part of your body that is sending a signal to the outer environment. Now that signal is a way of getting back a feedback for the reinforcement of cortisol. So that is that's how addiction is. Addiction is like, it's like a reinforcing mechanism for the reproduction of addictive chemicals. Example is cortisol. So it's so simple. Someone going through depression is actually your body is actually trying to find ways by which it can get to send a signal to the outer environment, where you will have to still go back again to reproduce that cortisol, and the cycle goes on and on and on until the body tells you, you know what, we are done. It can lead you to anything. You can die, you can run mad, different things. You can just get stuck, or most especially you run into disease, and that's where incurable diseases comes into play. Diabetes, cancer, different forms of cancers, different forms of arthritis, diseases that are incurable. This is the root of incurable diseases. So one of the ways by which you can actually cure yourself, first of all, you need to change your thoughts. If your thoughts can make you sick, then your thoughts can make you whole. Let me say that once again. If your thoughts can make you sick, then your thoughts can make you whole. It's as simple as that. So change your thoughts, change your feelings. If you can change your thoughts by the repetition of those thoughts in your mind, then you can change how you feel. And when you change how you feel, then you can change your personality. So your feelings is what leads to your personality, and your personality is what leads to your personal reality. Because now at that point, you are already made. You are conditioned, you are programmed already. So some people have been programmed for sickness, some people have been programmed for poverty. So this video, just hearing my voice right now, I know right now that something is being deposited into you to change you, to change your reasoning, your thoughts. I need you to change that thoughts. Those repetitive subconscious thoughts. These are not conscious thoughts. These are subconscious thoughts. I spoke in my previous episode about the fact that there's something called demon processes. In Christian religion, we talked about demons. I know even the Muslim faith too, they understand what demons mean. Demon, they will say they associate demons with negativity. They say a demon appeared to me and stuff like that. Yeah, a demon that you see maybe in your mind's eye is as a result of a combination of different negative thoughts. So you can, because of the nature of the mind and because of the unnatural self, you are a creator. Your thoughts can now become things. You can now be delusional by seeing images, and thank God for all these movies we'll be watching. These movies are conditioning our minds. By the way, if you are watching any movie, just know that you are setting yourself up. So you have to now decide the kind of movies you want to be watching. I remember when we were younger, we watched a lot of horror films. These horror films, actually, the more you are watching these things, the more you are watching these movies, you are listening to some kinds of music, you are actually creating imaginations. I talked about the power of imagination the other time in my previous video. I talked about that imagination is, the word imagination is an image that has sovereign authority, that has a sovereign authority over you, an image that you create, that it is now become that you can't see beyond it. It is what you can see. It is blocking you. Like you have literally become that image. That is what imagination means. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 3, it says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the I am, to the obedience of Christ, and having every readiness to avenge all disobedience when your obedience is complete. And what is that obedience? Casting down the imaginations. So when you are able to cast down all those imaginations, then your obedience will become complete. It's as simple as that. When you are able to cast down all those negative imaginations, those depressive thoughts and imaginations. So the Bible was very, very clear about it. It talked about imaginations and thoughts that exalt itself against the knowledge of God. Who is that God? The spirit, which is you. So those thoughts are they've become strongholds. So the good news is this: you can reprogram yourself by being conscious of your unconscious or your subconscious. You now deliberately now start taking in thoughts. You check the kind of movies you watch. You check the kind of music you listen to. Yeah, you need to be aware. You don't just listen to any song. Yeah, because it sounds nice does not mean that you have to listen to it. The fact that it sounds nice does not mean that you have to listen. By the way, sounds are very powerful. You know, a friend of mine, not a friend, a pastor, should I call him friend? Well, he actually chatted me up. There was a time I talked about sounds in one of my videos like that, and how how sounds can affect your healing. You know, that's I will be talking about that in my subsequent videos on how to use sounds as a form of meditation. There's something called sound meditation. Really, there are sounds that when you listen to it can cause healing for you, and there are sounds that when you listen to them, it can degrade you, it can bring you to depression. Yes.